Hello Shishas, agricultural practices are an attempt to preview the hardship of a farmer and the story behind the plate of food we eat every day. He takes part of the money that may not exactly compromise the hard work of the farmer. I call this the path of food from soil to supermarket with sacrifice, love, and dedication shown to us can be learned through studying how he makes grains ready in your kitchen from the beginning. Farming was one of the earlier professions of early human, which is going to extinct with the domination of jobs in technology and laziness. Now we're going to see the stages of food being made in farmers' hands. First is preparation of soil. The substages are ploughing, leveling, manuring, kind of optional. Here, farmer starts making the suitable surface for the seed to germinate. The farming land waterlogged or after rain. He goes for ploughing. Plough is dragged by animals from ancient times manually. A tractor, a cultivator also used in this step to save time. Later, leveling will be done by a plank that makes the surface even. How can also be attached to a tractor to achieve similar step. A farmer prepares for the important step of the seeding or sowing. Keeps the seeds ready for manual throwing called broadcasting. There is a pattern to do it as you see in this video. Next is mechanical implement seed drill. It spreads the seeds faster and deeper. You can see Indian made seed drill which can disperse seed as well as fertilizer. Another step is transplantation, where the plantlets grown or replanted on the soil bed by the farmers as you see here. Mechanically can be done by transplanter to make the process faster and cheaper. Third step is adding manure or fertilizer. Manure is natural source of fertility to soil. It can directly add it to soil without any limitation. Fertilizers are chemical products provided based on requirements close to plant by digging. Do you know the process of growing plants without soil? Is it possible? Yes. Here I am presenting you the technique of hydroponics. Everything is done with a combination of nutrients and plants growing on PVC pipes with very much conservation than traditional farming. Presently, a lot of modern farmers are opting in smaller place available to them. In this video you can see lettuce grown with limited and controlled resources available. Here comes the rain, the step of irrigation. I'm going to hide under an umbrella and mute myself. You can learn about irrigation meanwhile.
simplest and cheapest irrigation systems. In this, water is drawn from a well or water source by a bucket attached to a rope. The rope is passed over a pulley and fixed to an animal. The animal walks down an earthen slope away from the well to lift water. In a chain pump system, two large wheels connected by a chain are positioned at an angle to each other. Water is drawn from a water source with the help of a log of wood placed on a fork-shaped tree for support. The log is tied to a large stone which acts as the lever. And an ox, buffalo or camel is tied to the other wheel. As the animal pulls the wheel around in a circular motion, it sets in motion the first wheel with the buckets, which draw water from the water source, employs many perpendicular pipes with rotating nozzles at the top, installed at regular intervals. The pipes are placed on the field and are connected to the main pipelines that emerge from the main water storage tank. Water is conveyed under high pressure through the pipes. In a drip irrigation system, water is delivered at or near the root zone of crops drop by drop. A drip irrigation system is the most efficient system of irrigation as there is absolutely no wastage of water. This system is mostly used in areas with poor water availability.
Tales around the world is continued after the narrated video. Moving on to step 5, shield the crops. Shield the crops, I mean protection of crops. Indirectly, farmer provided sources for good and bad. How bad? Let's see. Where there is water, nutrients, and there are some unwanted plants want to take benefits like parasites. Weeding done manually by Kofi or harrow. Like you see in this video, they clear the area near the crop. You will be very nice to the crop till it gives the yield in all sorts. Here we go. The mechanical method using weeder does the job faster. Chemical methods like weedicides, which do not harm the crop but toxic to weeds to survive near the crop. In this process, proper combinations should be followed, mixed together and filled in a sprayer and applied on the crop. Then it kills the weeds around. Pests. Pests are unwanted insects that eat away your favorite crop. It is difficult to control the pests on the crop, so we go for pesticides. You can see the pests in your gardens and closely observing them. You'll find various symptoms like leftover leaf and some black dots behind and the black caterpillar just moving on the stem. Very disturbing images. Like above, we do similar treatment and remove infected plants to avoid it spreading it to new crops. Here we come to step 6, is the time of collecting produce. There are 3 steps in this process. The matured crop will cut down and dry to extract the grains. Here you can see the women are trying to do that. They bundle it for threshing, where the process of removing grain from chaff. The final preparation is called winnowing, where the dust will be removed. In other words, chaff is removed from the seeds. All these are manual steps that take manual effort and time taking, as you have seen in this clip. But see all in ones as combines. Only harvesters, threshers, winnowers, these three machines are combined together to form a combine. So easy name to remember. For gardens, this step may not be applicable. We should be isolating the matured fruits for a few years, about 10 to 15 years. There is a tradition of celebrating festivals during this season. You remember when you get holidays to celebrate? I'm posting some of the festivals related to harvesting now. I hope you can enjoy. Storage gives security. This is our last step. Even from ancient times, all the civilizations have facilities to store grains securely in different ways. We can see such places in this clip. As we move on, we are going to see the modern granaries. In India, we have FCI, the government body that preserves food. FCI stands for Food Corporation of India. For a few minutes we are going to see the clip by FCI called FCI Insight to understand 4 steps by government to preserve food and to provide to its citizens. Now I'm going on mute. You can go ahead and listen.
For people spread across varied geographical territories. For these schemes to operate effectively, food grains had to be produced, procured, stored, transported and distributed to every nook and corner of the country. Thus came into being FCI, Food Corporation of India, in 1965. It was tasked with a multi-pronged mandate of procurement, storage, transportation and distribution of food grains in the country.
The cold storage is next facility if the farmer wants to keep the food temporarily before moving it to market. Most fruits, vegetables, milk can be stored here. There will be nominal charge in government run cold storages. Conditions and the recommendations of students of educations. Video stated as Palani. I don't have any copyright license of the video stated or represented here. YouTube, please don't delete the video, requesting you humbly.